The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas is a 1973 short story by Ursula Le Guin. Around 4.5 pages in length, the story starts by setting the scene in the magnificent city of Omelas, a fictional utopia without war, without suffering, and without the weight of guilt. The people of Omelas are intelligent, cultured, and deeply fulfilled. The city itself is dazzling, radiant with summer festivals and golden sunlight. Children race through the streets, their laughter carrying through the wind. Music flows through the air, flutes, harps, and voices singing in perfect harmony. There is no rule of kings, no oppressive government, no secret police lurking in the shadows. The people live in peace, in abundance, and in a kind of fairy tale that seems almost too good to be true. But there is a catch. Deep beneath the city's walls, there is a child locked in a tiny dark room. The room is about 3 feet long and 2 feet wide. The floor is cold and damp. The child looks about 6 years old, but is actually around 10, and has spent most of his or her entire existence in that single room. Because the child is so malnourished and deformed, no one can ascertain the gender of the child. The child's intellect is low because they've received no nurture or education. They don't say much except to occasionally say, "Please let me out. I will be good," at people who walk by. No one ever replies. The child used to cry and scream at night, but now lets out a mere defeated whimper. They remember their mother and what it was like to feel sunlight. However, they have seen neither in years. They're covered in sores and sit in their own excrement all day, living off half a bowl of cornmeal daily. Everyone in Omelas knows the child is there. It's tough to acknowledge, but they largely understand the reasoning. Some come to see the child, others merely acknowledge the child's situation, but can't bring themselves to bear witness. The young and more open-minded citizens of Omelas often come to see the child and, after doing so, return home in floods of tears, pondering over it for weeks or even years, but do nothing, for there is nothing they really can do. You see, the reality is that the reason the child is there, suffering in that dark, dank room, is because the entire city of Omelas' happiness and prosperity hinges on the misery of that one single child. That's to say, the child's suffering acts as a generator for the joy of the people of Omelas. If the child is freed, the magnificent city of Omelas falls. Those are the terms. The terms are strict and absolute. There may not even be a kind word spoken to the child. There are those, however, who, upon seeing the child and walking away, keep walking. Through the village streets they pass, sometimes alone, sometimes with a friend or a child, and they walk out of the city of Omelas. Through the dark fields that surround the city, they carry on walking into the night and head towards the mountains. No one quite knows where they go, the ones who walk away from Omelas, but they seem to know, and they never return. Did you find this story unsettling? I certainly did, and it truly resonated with me. Why? Well, because to me, Omelas and its citizens represent something very real. You see, Omelas is just an upscaled and more utopian version of the society we currently live in, where the average person just goes about their daily pleasures, willfully blind to the dark reality. So who then are those who walk away from Omelas? For me, it's my community, my own kind, vegans. Yes, vegans, you are the ones who choose to walk away from Omelas, and there's something so powerful in that. You are the ones who choose to walk away and ultimately reject society, reject these hedonistic pleasures that people just can't seem to fathom life without. You are the ones who choose to acknowledge the suffering, the reality, while the 99% turn a blind eye. And for that, the story of Omelas should resonate with you as it did me. As vegans, we choose to not enjoy our lives at someone else's expense. We are Neo in the Matrix, who chooses to take the red pill, while Cypher, eating his juicy steak, chooses to take the blue. The child suffering in Omelas can be seen as a metaphor for the billions of animals exploited for human pleasure, kept out of sight, suffering so that the majority can enjoy their happy lives without guilt. In Omelas, citizens rationalise the child's suffering as a necessary evil for their utopia, just as many justify animal exploitation by saying it's just the way things are or necessary for society. Most of Omelas' citizens experience brief discomfort when confronted with the truth, but ultimately choose to ignore it. Much like those who recoil at the sad sight of the chicken in the tiny cage, but continue to fund it in exchange for their worldly pleasures anyway. And then of course, there are those who walk away. They refuse to be complicit, even if it means leaving behind comfort, community, and the illusion of a perfect life. Just like vegans, the ones who walk away from Omelas reject the status quo, choosing instead to prioritize their ethics above all else.